Back on FS1 from Fresno, California. We get right to the tail of the tape for this bantamweight bout. Carl-John Thomas is the youngest fighter on the card tonight at 21 years old. Alex Perez, 4 years older at 25. He also stands 1 inch taller at 5'6". The reach advantage is enjoyed by Carl-John Thomas at 71.5 inches. Joe Martinez inside the octagon.
Well, 5 rounds we are set to go with the next bout this evening. 3 rounds, this in the UFC Bantamweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in officially 135 pounds. This young veteran has a record standing at 18 victories and 4 defeats. Tonight, making his UFC debut, fighting out of and representing Lemoore, California, here is Alex Perez! And his opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 5 inches tall. He weighed in at the bantamweight limit, 136 pounds, and in 9 bouts has 8 victories and 1 defeat. Fighting out of Quezon City, Philippines, here is Carl-John Thomas. And your referee in charge of the action is Mark Lally.
Mark Lally, the third man in. Alex Perez, what a reception for him and what an opportunity for him. The lovely Luciana getting us going here for our second bout. UFC Fight Night prelims from Fresno, California. There's a look at Perez. Again, normally fights at 125 pounds, but stepped up to 135 for an opportunity like this. Carl-John Thomas in the white, Alex Perez in the blue. 4-1 favorite is the newcomer Perez. Wow. Respect from the odds maker for the Californian.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how he handles the hometown pressure and the debut all at the same time. But, you know, sometimes it takes moments like that for people to really rise to that occasion. And we'll see what kind of athlete he is if he can really come in there and just embrace that moment and really take advantage of it.
And you asked him this week about his big spot that he's in, and he shrugged it off. He says, I'm ready for this. Again, I felt like this is a long time coming for me.
Yeah, he's a very experienced fighter as well. Yeah, it's not like, you know, he's got 4 fights coming in here. He's got a ton of fights as a professional. It's his time, and he feels that way. But he's got his hands full with Carl-John Thomas. This kid is a scrappy Filipino, man. He comes out there, he throws down, he looks for takedowns. Nice slip and rip there from Thomas.
Despite the size advantage for CJ Thomas, he acknowledged, man, this is a long business trip for me. First time fighting in the United States. It's cold, it's dry, certainly a different atmosphere than the Philippines. Says this will be really big for me to get this done tonight against a fighter like this.
Yeah, CJ trying to rip the body there. Ooh, looking for that big right hook counter. Left hand lands for Thomas.
Combination.
That uppercut.
Thomas throws the uppercut. Perez pressing forward. And the takedown. Takedown attempt stuffed by Thomas.
Yeah, really good takedown defense.
Look out. It was a quick submission for Alex Perez on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series this summer. Looking to lock in the arm once again.
Oh. And this is where we saw him get the finish on Tuesday Night Contender Series. He's pushing that arm through. He's rolling.
Trying to put it underneath the chin of Carl-John Thomas.
He's got his hands locked now.
Hometown crowd urging him on.
He's just trying to get the angle. He's going to use that fence to curl in.
Alex Perez trying to close this one early.
Doris, but he lost the grip there. Good defense from Thomas.
Well, fighting in Asia in his UFC debut, Carl-John Thomas did show the toughness and the ability to escape some great jiu-jitsu from his opponent.
Perez really showing that he is quick to throw on these chokes from any position here. Darce choke right to that reinforced guillotine, but Thomas shucking him off.
Still has 2 minutes to work.
He's looking for this
right
guillotine.
Arm not going anywhere. Looks to slide to the back, and Thomas back to his feet. Now it's Thomas looking to take this thing to the ground.
Wow, and Perez just does a beautiful job. Rolls through that, shucks it off like it's nothing. This kid really showing that he is a world-class grappler in here. See how he's just kind of holding that neck in position. He's waiting to see what kind of choke he wants to throw on here. And he likes these chokes from this position, from the front headlock position. He can really kind of chain things together. If he doesn't get one, he can kind of go through the repertoire and find what works best for him here. That's what he's doing. Guillotine, Darce, Anaconda. He can do all these different variations right from this position. See, he's locking his hands together here again. He's just testing it out. But there's other ways he can go from here if he doesn't get that particular choke. He was using his head to try to push that arm across him to Thomas. Smart move there from Perez.
Final minute of the first round. As Alex Perez continues to take control. Fires a knee on their way up.
The only thing I would say he's got to be careful of going for that many arm chokes is that he can wear his arms out going into the second round, because Thomas is tough. He's going to keep fighting these things off. The more he does that and the longer the fight goes on, that blood's going to fill into those arms, and he might just be a little slower when it comes to for those chokes and holding his hands up to block strikes as well.
Perez looking to soften up CJ Thomas with 20 seconds to go, first round. Back on the back is Thomas. Ground and pound with the elbow from Perez.
Very nice elbow there, right down the middle, split the guard.
Good first round in his first appearance for Alex Perez.
Breathe. He's waiting for that choke. Relax. Breathe.
Good. Deep breath.
Good. Breathe. Set up that shot again this round. Take your time. How you feel? Good. Did he catch you with anything? He's swinging. Keep your hands up a little bit. Okay. Level change more, but this time put him down early. But instead of fighting the choke, just run and move and put him on his back.
Okay.
And then once you get to the back, posture a little bit. That elbow, he's not going to do much on his back other than try and hit you. He's not going to try and escape. So control him. Look for some big elbows. But watch out for his punches. He's throwing some big shots. So I need that head to move a little bit more, right? Don't come in straight with your head on the same line. He's trying to catch you. He's trying to use that jab. A lot of in and out fake. When you hit the shot, go with it. Put him on his back. Okay?
You get that choke again. Hold that arm in. Go for the Darce.
Breathe. Huh? He's going to try and counter you with the hands.
Tomorrow, college basketball is on FS1 as LaSalle tangles with the 4th-ranked Wildcats of Villanova. Action tips off at 1 Eastern. Stream it live on Fox Sports Go, and of course see it right here on FS1. Alex Perez said, felt fine after that first round, didn't even use the stool and sit down in between rounds. He stayed standing the whole time.
Yeah, some guys like that, you know, because it makes sense. I mean, when we spar, when we train every day in the gym, somebody doesn't bring you out a stool in between every single round. So you kind of get used to walking around in between your rounds and not sitting down.
Shoots for the takedown, and Perez listening to his coach's advice between rounds, and now he's inside control.
Yeah, this is definitely where Perez wants to keep this fight. There's just less risk of him taking any damage from Thomas. Locking up a key lock here. Lets it go.
Short elbow. Lands for Perez.
This kid really showing really smart MMA mindset here. If he doesn't get the submission, he immediately tries to soften up with some punches and then look for another transition. And Thomas gives his back here. And here we go. Perez already working right away. Under the arm uppercuts. Staying on his back, looking for that wrist control. Beautiful MMA grappling here from Perez.
Staying busy with that right hand.
And he's got that arm trapped. So Thomas cannot block with everything he wants. He has to kind of fold in here because he's still got that wrist trapped. This is beautiful work from Perez. And he's punching hard here. He's
staying busy on the ground. Big knee to the midsection.
And he hooks that leg. This kid is really showing that when he gets this fight to the mat, it's not just jiu-jitsu either. This is MMA. He's controlling wrists, he's trapping legs, and he's punching all at the same time. That is what this game is all about. It's not just about where can I find the submission. It's about looking for that by softening him up with ground and pound. He's punching, transition. He's never giving Thomas a break in here. Oh!
Look out!
He's got that.
Another submission attempt here.
He's got it tight.
CJ trying to hang on. There's the tap. guard. Alex Perez, in his UFC debut, scores a stoppage win in the second round. What a clinic on the ground for the former junior college wrestler who said, I don't want to wrestle, I want to fight. And he is a winner at the highest level of mixed martial arts. Our Move of the Fight, sponsored by Metro PCS, bringing you closer than ever to the UFC, putting knockout coverage in your hands by covering 99% of people in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, this all started because of how well he was controlling from top. He was landing he was landing strikes, softening him up and training, and then he lands his Darce choke. He locks in those arms, and he's trying to just slowly torque his feet. See how he's creeping up closer, and once he gets that armed, and he just has to tap.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 1 minute 54 seconds. Round number 2, submission by Darce choke for your winner, the Central Valley's own Alex Perez.
I'm here with your winner, Alex Perez. Wow. Listen, you know, leading up to this, you said this is just another fight for me. I've earned this time. It's my time. How did it feel coming in here in the octagon for the first time, getting that win?
Hey, Central Valley, what's up? Hey, thank you guys for coming out. It feels amazing. Like I said, I felt like I should have been here a long time ago. After this fight, I'm going back down to 25s where I belong, and yeah, I'm ready to get back in there.
Well, listen, you know, we saw you on the Contender Series. You locked in that Darce and you put your opponent to sleep. Let's look at another one here for your UFC debut, man. You set it up beautifully with just amazing MMA ground and pound. Talk us through this finish here.
We drill the stuff on a daily basis so we can just hit it, you know, whenever we feel like it. You know, that's thanks to Coach Ron and Coach Casey from 10 Planet. Thank you guys. That's all them right there.
Well, listen, you mentioned you're only about your hometown's about a half hour away from here. So how awesome was it to make your UFC debut here in front of all your friends and family in a crowd? Listen to these guys. These guys are here for you, brother. You just made an amazing UFC debut. How does that feel right now, man?
It feels amazing. You know, I fought down the street at Tachi Palace for a long time, and it just feels amazing to finally be here. Words can't describe it.
Hey, well, congratulations on an amazing UFC debut. Alex Perez, ladies and gentlemen.
So Alex Perez, man, he almost gave up the sport at one point. His coaches, his family urged him to keep going. And how about this? He worked in Fresno at a freight company 5 in the morning to 8 at night daily. And now he is back in Fresno. And this time he went to work in the octagon. Did not take him that long. And he scores the victory.
Yet again tonight. A couple of 26-year-olds here. Jose Torres celebrating his birthday on Thursday of fight week. Alex Perez, the taller man by 2 inches. He will have the slightest of reach advantages. All right, now for the introductions. Back inside to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding an undefeated professional record. 8 wins, no losses. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 125 pounds. Fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, Jose Shorty Torres. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 20 wins, 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 126 pounds. Fighting out of Lamar, California, Alex Perez. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Frank Trigg.
Frank Trigg, busy man early here tonight. The lovely Chrissy Blair getting us started for round 1. This is a very anticipated fight in this UFC flyweight division. 2 guys who could be major factors moving forward. Alex Perez and Jose Shorty Torres. Perez is in blue, Torres is in black. Many of you know Torres, former 2-division Titan FC champion, but felt like this division needed him more. He said 35, ooh, nice combination by Perez.
Perez clean right off the bat, good shots to the body. As we were saying coming in, big experience advantage for Perez. And boy, he's turning it on quick. He's not wasting any time.
Torres
said that he's a slow starter, admitted to being a slow starter, and said that he gets better as the fight goes on. If you're a slow starter and you're getting teed off on like that, you better get going or the fight will be over before you get started.
Yeah, Perez has landed clean and continues to.
Perez expected him to be a fast starter when he was watching, so it's very crazy that they have that much of a different idea of your opponent when the fight's about to go.
Perez is outstanding in the early moments of this first round. He looks really sharp, really focused, and really aware that the guy in front of him presents some real danger and has a lot of hype behind him.
And the book on Jose Torres, as DC mentioned, has been as a slow starter. When he said that to you, DC, you said you got to break that habit.
Yeah, it doesn't get you far. I mean, you don't get, this is not a place where you build into something. You got to be ready to fight the moment the fight goes.
What do you think is the root of that? What causes people to start slow?
Well, he said he likes to come back from adversity, Joe, which is
oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best way to approach it. I said to him, I go, well, what about the fact that you only have 2 rounds? You got to win them both now.
Wow, man, Alex Perez.
Oh, he just landed
he
right
just
hand
landed
himself.
a good right hand himself. But Alex Perez is on fire. High volume from Perez.
This counter right from Torres.
Both of them landed. Yep. Torres' face is all cut up already.
Yeah, I believe it's from some of those elbows that Alex Perez landed early in the round.
I mean, even in the last fight against Jared Brooks, Torres lost the first round and then ended up winning off of that slam in round 2. So he's kind of used to falling behind early and then picking it up as the fight goes. He said that even in wrestling, he knew that his cardio eventually would win.
Oh, both men.
Wow. These guys are going at it.
This is getting crazy. But Torres is wearing it much worse, and particularly on his face. Much higher volume of strikes landed by Alex Perez.
Torres was the conditioning king as a collegiate wrestler, and feels like he, more often than not, ends these fights as the stronger party, but he has absorbed a lot of significant damage here in round 1.
Yeah, he's busted up real early. I mean, we're halfway through the first round, and he's a mess.
Both of these guys landed though. And Torres is actually finding more success now as the fight going on. And if he's a cardio machine like he says, Perez has put out a lot of activity early. So that may show itself as we get into round 2 and 3.
Oh, he's stunned him.
He's hurt bad.
Oh, he's hurt.
Perez biding his time, lands another right, now a left. Torres in a lot of trouble.
He's taking it too clean.
Perez to the body, mixing it up.
Torres able to land a right hand on the way out. Not sure how many power shots he can take. 90 seconds to go in the round.
He's just taking too many in a row. One shot hurts, but it's when you take multiples back to back like that.
Alex Perez on fire.
Perez trying to finish this fight. Alex Perez bounces Shorty Torres from the ranks of the unbeaten.
What a performance by Alex Perez. He said he was going to come out firing, and boy, did he fire.
You can't come out firing any harder than that.
My goodness.
My goodness.
Gee.
Wow. Outstanding performance by Alex Perez. Right out of the gate, landed clean and sharp, and took out a real prospect in Jose Torres.
And his older brother, who's a cop in Orange County, is here. His mom's in the building as well. The Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series alum, Alex Perez, has won 8 in a row. Could very well have a number next to his name next week.
Speaking of a number, look at the number of strikes landed. DC just pointed this out. 104 strikes landed in the first round. He came out guns blazing, extremely high volume and high accuracy as well. Just a tremendous performance by Alex Perez.
Just hitting every strike accurate, sharp, and then finding the kill shot, finding the shot that put Torres down to end the fight. Unbelievable performance by Alex Perez. 170 attempts in the first round, J.A.
And I know you're going to see Alex Perez on the wrestling match later this year. He's an assistant coach for the Selma High School wrestling team.
Yeah. I told Perez that when I'm coaching the Gilroy High School Mustangs, sit down, Torres. Don't you argue a call with me, but look at the strikes. Great job by Alex Perez.
Tonight belongs to Alex Perez, a shiny 3-0 to begin his UFC tenure. Bruce Buffer now to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Frank Trigg has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 36 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout, Alex Perez.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Alex Perez. Alex, you put on a show tonight. That was a tremendous performance against a guy who was undefeated, a real prospect, a guy who even Mighty Mouse talked about perhaps would be a future opponent for him. But you came out hard and fast and extremely accurate. Starting at that higher pace, was that something you had planned on doing, or did you just go with the moment?
First of all, thank you guys for coming out and supporting us. Really appreciate it. I train hard and train my butt off every day so I can put on a show for you guys and eventually get that #1 spot. My coach told me one time, who leads the dance, the man or the woman? And I'm the man in this.
Take a look at the big screen and talk us through the finish. You landed a high volume of strikes. He came back and landed a few good strikes of his own to keep you honest, but you kept the pressure on him and eventually just teed off with this barrage that stopped the fight.
Yeah, our coach Colin Oyama doesn't get the credit he deserves, but him, Romy Adanza, those guys work on their stand-up every day, and we're just getting better. Like, without them, I wouldn't be here. I want to thank them.
Alex, you made a huge statement here tonight. Congratulations, sir. Look forward to seeing you next fight. Alex Perez, ladies and gentlemen.
Prodigy of Japanese great Norifumi Kid Yamamoto, Kyoji Horiguchi makes his UFC debut tonight against Dustin Pei. Owner of a devastating striking attack that has led him to knockouts in 7 of his 11 wins, Horiguchi also steps into the octagon with a 5-fight winning streak that includes a 2012 victory over UFC veteran Ian Loveland. Former Ultimate Fighter competitor Peg always brings the excitement on fight night, though after controversial split decision losses to Ken Stone and Yves Jaboué, the Disciple is looking for a decisive finish. Coming up next, Kyoji Horiguchi faces Dustin, the Disciple Pei. Impressive 11-1 record at just 23 years old. The Shooto 132-pound world champion and 2010 Shooto rookie and most valuable fighter of the year, Kyoji Horiguchi makes his UFC debut tonight.
And Kyoji Horiguchi is, as you said, a disciple of Kid Yamamoto, probably one of the most famous fighters to ever come out of Japan. He was successful in both mixed martial arts and in K1 Max kickboxing. And he has been a part of that Crazy B team ever since he got out of high school. So he was also a regional karate champion in Japan, and expect him to be very well versed in all aspects of mixed martial arts as a protege of Yamamoto.
Massive puncher, has very clean technique. Likes to stay on the feet, likes to sling. Looks for the knockout. He is a true 125, but the opportunity presented itself for him to make his debut in the UFC, and he takes it at 135 against Dustin Pei. 5-fight winning streak, 4 first-round finishes for Kyoji Horiguchi. Set to make his UFC debut. His opponent, Dustin Pei. Fighting in the octagon for the 6th time. He and his wife, Jackie, just welcomed their son, Asher, a few months back. He spent 6 weeks at the Ultimate Fighter House. He went to camps in New Mexico, Virginia, and Texas. This time he changed it up. He stayed closer to home, also worked with Jeff Smith and the guys at Unrivaled Athletics. He feels he has had a very good and focused training camp, and he knows he's in need of a victory tonight.
He's a very talented kid. Came up short in the last fight against Yves Joblais, but a lot of folks, me included, thought he could have easily gotten the decision in that fight. It was a very close fight, though, but Joblais is a very talented fighter, as is Dustin. Dustin's extremely well-rounded and is really developing in all aspects of his game. Since we've seen him in Season 14 of The Ultimate Fighter, we've seen continued steady improvement from this young man.
And the 2 fights prior to the very close fight in Winnipeg, Joe, were on short notice. I mean, he fought Ken Stone on 6 days' notice, so everything is in line for Dustin Peg tonight. Now he just needs to get it done and earn himself a victory over the newcomer. Our tale of the tape for this bantamweight battle. The newcomer fighting out of Tokyo, Japan. Just 23 years old, 3 years younger than Peg, who is 4 inches taller and will have an 8.5-inch reach advantage. With the introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC Bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a karate fighter holding a professional record, 11 wins, 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Tokyo, Japan, Kyoji Horiguchi. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 11 wins, 9 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Dustin, the disciple of Peg. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
The veteran, one of the best in the business, Herb Dean, our referee for this bantamweight fight, the beautiful Ariani.
Ready.
Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, and here we go. White trunks for Dustin Peg, silver trunks for Kyoji Horiguchi, who throws the kick early.
Horiguchi with a very wide stance, very much like Yamamoto. A lot of movement, side to side.
Quick inside leg kick there, Joe.
Hands down. A lot of movement from Horiguchi. Missed with that big right hand. Dustin's got a hold of him, drags him to the ground. May have an arm triangle here. May have an arm triangle. Does not have his hands clasped together though, Mike. Wow. Dustin Peg got the body triangle already, has his back. He has this arm triangle position, but it looks like he's going for the rear naked choke based on the fact that he's got the body triangle locked in. Yep, he's got his back now fully. A little high on the back here. Look at this. Horiguchi standing. Good job. Very smart by Horiguchi to stand up like that.
Just trying to lock it in. Peg with 8 career wins by submission.
Wow, Peg is going for it early here. He's pulling on his own gloves, which is legal. You're allowed to pull in your own gloves. Can't pull in your opponent's gloves. But you can use your own glove to cinch up a choke. It's actually a very nice way to get leverage. And Peg still, he's not going to let go of that arm under the chin. That's a critical position. Having that arm under the chin is huge. Now it's all about connecting the right hand to the left hand and committing to the choke. But as long as he continues with that right arm under the chin, Horiguchi's in big, big trouble. And Dustin Peg, see, Horiguchi's going 2-on-1 here on the left arm. As long as he does that, he's probably safe. If he keeps that arm in his control, but he's got to make his decision here. So now he's pulling on the hand of the other one, and he gets it out.
For now.
But now Peg switches it to the other hand.
Side, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very difficult to do while you're riding on a guy's back. Plus, you're taxing out your legs while you're doing this. So Horiguchi's taxing himself a bit because he's supporting Peg. He can take a little bit of that off by pressing up against the cage like he's doing. Peg is really going to tax his legs out here, though, holding on. So it becomes a matter of how much time do you want to invest in this position?
Right.
How much energy you're going to invest trying to go for it here in this first round. Now Peg doesn't have much weight on the legs because he's kind of, the way Horiguchi's pressed forward, at least he was there for a bit, he was riding on his back, didn't have to support himself with his legs.
And Horiguchi felt that space and tried to buck him off a little bit.
Yeah, Peg can't hang on forever with that body triangle because it will wear your legs out, and he's still got 2.5 rounds to fight. So now he's letting go. He let go with that leg, decided to go back and stand up.
Horiguchi stayed very calm too.
Yes, he did, and he stayed very calm and did the right thing while the arm was under the chin. 2-on-1 on the other hand, it's really difficult to get a rear naked choke. I mean, it's possible, but really difficult to get it with one arm.
So still a hook, still on the back, but much safer is Horiguchi now.
And Peg's still hanging on though. He's still got that one hook and he triangles it under his foot, under his knee rather, but now he's losing it, and look at this, Horiguchi turns it on him.
Well done.
Good patience by Horiguchi.
Now Horiguchi trying to put some pressure on Dustin Peg here. Wide base for Peg.
Tell you what though, Mike, that transition where Peg took his back was absolutely beautiful. Going from a standing arm triangle position to taking the back.
Well, just missed with the elbow, Joe.
And it really highlighted what we were talking about, that Peg has really improved steadily since we've seen him on The Ultimate Fighter. He's putting in the work. Nice right hand there by Peg.
Was in that fight of the season on The Ultimate Fighter season 14 with Louis Gaudino. Nice knee.
Good right hand by Horiguchi too.
Remember, Peg is much taller and he's got an 8.5-inch reach advantage.
Nice knee to the body by Peg. Oh, beautiful takedown.
He tossed him to the mat.
Yeah, Peg may be working for, the way he pummels that arm through, he may be working for a Darce here.
Final seconds of round number 1. Good round for Dustin Peg.
Oh,
nice
big
shot
hand by
Horiguchi.
Breathe. Open up. Keep your distance. Use your legs. Move around. A little better on the footwork. Relax. Relax and you'll be okay. Breathe. Yeah, good. Don't keep your distance. Use your legs. Concentrate. Kicks. 1, 2, and kicks. Finish with the kick. Concentrate.
Here's a nice knee by Peg to the chin, and a right hand by Horiguchi, and a left as well. And here's that beautiful throw. And the only thing that kept him from winding up in side control was that they were up against the cage. And there's a nice right hand from the top by Horiguchi.
This fight.
Round 2.
It's really interesting, Mike. You see so much of Yamamoto's style in the way Horiguchi moves. Oh, nice left hook by Horiguchi.
He started it with that inside leg kick.
Oh,
nice. He walked into that one.
Oh! Peg's in
big
trouble.
shot! Horiguchi with a big left hook. Ground and pound.
Oh, big
looking to finish this fight.
Peg's got to cover up.
Peg's in trouble.
He's trying to keep his wits about him. Herb Dean taking a real good look at him here.
Peg's got to push him away.
Peg's trying to go for a leg lock, trying to do anything to hang on. At least this way he can bury his head in the hips. Try to get deep on this half guard.
Couple of big left hooks connect early here in round 2.
Huge shots by Horiguchi. Peg was in some real trouble. But it looks like he's got him down now. Nicely done. Beautiful sweep by Peg. Very patient with that sweep. And now Peg on top. At least he gets a chance to clear the cobwebs here.
Many of those significant strikes landed came a moment ago by Horiguchi.
And Horiguchi trying to stand back up. Haig trying to stay on top of him here. Haig does not want him to get on top because he's probably still a little dizzy. Those are some hard shots by Horiguchi. We don't know how much Haig has really recovered. We haven't seen him stand yet.
We've seen Dustin Peg rocked a few times in the octagon, and he's one of those guys who has the ability to recover.
Back on his back again, Horiguchi on top. Head and arm control here by Horiguchi. Peg defended the arm triangle, got his arm out of that position.
In the half guard.
And he's going to go under again with the same sweep that he tried to use before, that deep half. His head is too exposed. He's got to tuck his head deep into the hips to avoid being punched like that.
Kyoji Horiguchi said he started karate when he was 5 years old because his father forced him to do it.
He's taking some shots here. Peg is.
And Horiguchi, for a small 135, is giving Dustin Peg a big second round here.
Well, he was really leaping into those shots. A lot of power and torque behind him. Now Dustin's going for the arm triangle from the bottom, but he gave up on it so quickly, which leads me to believe that he's probably very tired. And that's another factor of getting tagged like that. Nothing takes your gas tank away like getting rocked.
Horiguchi was leaping into those punches, as you said, Joe, like a John Dotson or a John Lineker does. Really putting your body into a big shot. Postured up and landed a big one. And again, that's textbook the way he's posturing up,
Yeah,
Joe.
absolutely, and he has some real power in these shots, Mike. Oh! These are hard shots.
Yeah.
Dustin is in a lot of trouble here.
You're going to hear the shots land.
Yeah, he's got to control this kid's posture. Hang on tight with that full guard and control the neck, but I think he's too tired to do it. Oh, man, he is taking a pounding here. Oh,
more big ground and pound.
Horiguchi can stop him here.
If he just trouble again.
If he just continues to throw these shots.
Looking to finish it right here. Hit it all over.
That's it.
Kyoji Horiguchi earns the victory in his UFC debut.
Big win for Horiguchi. Vicious ground and pound from this UFC newcomer. And, you know, incredible that this guy fights at 125 because the power he displayed at 135, quite impressive.
It all began with the big left hook of Horiguchi. Boom!
There was one, that's one that rocked him, and he landed several before that, Mike. And that one caught him right on the chin. The legs give out, and some ferocious ground and pound by Horiguchi. Over and over again, connected. Herb Dean was warning Peg. He said he was going to stop it, but I think Peg had taken so many shots, he wasn't really in a position to properly defend himself anymore.
Man, that was some old school posturing up and throwing down.
Yeah, it certainly was. Very impressive debut.
Congratulations, Kyoji Horiguchi. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 51 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO, Kyoji Horiguchi.
Horiguchi, 12-1 overall and 1-0 inside the octagon as he defeats Dustin Peg. We are set to get things started at 125. One of the fastest rising stars in the UFC's flyweight division, Kyoji Horiguchi, is determined to start the show in style by taking out John De Los Reyes. A protege of Japanese great Kid Yamamoto, Kyoji Horiguchi made his highly anticipated UFC debut in 2013 against Dustin Peg, and he didn't disappoint, halting his foe in the second round. Owner of a devastating striking attack that has led him to knockouts in 8 of his 13 wins, Horiguchi is a tough out for anyone in his new division at 125 pounds. and he plans to make a title run in 2015. Should he get by John Delos Reyes tonight? A native of Guam, Reyes is a well-rounded grappler and kickboxer whose impressive resume could get a sizable boost if he can upset Horiguchi. Coming up next, John "The Heat" Delos Reyes squares off against Kyoji Horiguchi.
John Delos Reyes splits his training in his hometown in Guam and in Las Vegas. Made his debut in Singapore and looked very good against Dustin Kimura, nearly knocking him out before getting caught in an armbar. Phenomenal comeback by Dustin Kimura, but since that time, Delos Reyes has really focused on his jiu-jitsu. He's gone out, actually won several jiu-jitsu tournaments in Las Vegas, training at the ufcbjj Academy under Sonny Nohara. Really feels like that's made the difference. He's had a long layoff, but he's been training the entire time, really rounding out his game. He's an extremely powerful striker. Really good when he gets inside in the pocket and just unleashes that right hand. If he gets you on the ground, that's where he had a problem in his debut, where he opened up a little bit too much, got a little careless as he was trying to finish the fight, got caught in that armbar, and he's going against a guy who is really solid all around. If Delos Reyes can win this fight, it would launch his career in the flyweight division. Talked to Delos Reyes about the travel, and he's used to fighting out of Guam early in his career, but he actually left for this fight from Las Vegas. Doesn't feel like the time change and the travel is really going to take effect. He's pretty accustomed to it. Was originally actually a Sanshao black belt when he first started mixed martial arts.
John Delos Reyes making his flyweight debut as he is set to battle in the octagon against Kyoji Horiguchi. Horiguchi 13-1 in his mixed martial arts career, 7-fight winning streak. He will be the second, octagon opponent of John Delos Reyes. His hero, Kid Yamamoto.
Now this is a guy who's a lifelong mixed martial artist. He started training karate at 5, was a regional champion. At the age of 16, though, he watched Pride Fighting Championships and told me he was hooked. That was it. He was going to be a mixed martial artist. Started training with Kid Yamamoto and has a similar style to Kid Yamamoto. Moves a lot, great strikes. He's got a monstrous left hook. Very good head movement. I mean, the man is very talented. He's got so many people, to include matchmaker Sean Shelby, excited about the prospects of him in this featherweight division, already ranked number 14.
Well, Sean Shelby has said on more than one occasion that Kyoji Horiguchi may just be the leader of the new generation of Japanese mixed martial artists.
Well, he's going to want to come to this fight, use all of his skills and move. He knows he's fighting a very heavy-handed opponent, Delos Reyes. Look for Horiguchi to want to get this to the mat and exploit the deficiencies in Delos Reyes' jiu-jitsu game.
Our tale of the tape for this flyweight fight. Horiguchi, just 23 years old. John Delos Reyes, 4 years his elder. Everything else is virtually identical. And to get things officially started here in Tokyo, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the land of the rising sun, Tokyo, Japan, for UFC Fight Night. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 7 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 125 pounds. Fighting at a Tamuin in Guam, John "The Heat" Delos Reyes. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a karate fighter holding a professional record, 13 wins, 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 125 pounds. Fighting out of Tokyo, Japan, Kyoji Horiguchi. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Steve Percival.
Steve Percival will be our referee for this flyweight contest, the beautiful Ariani. Keep him busy working solo tonight here inside the Saitama Super Arena. Horiguchi and De Los Reyes. And here we go. Blue trunks for Kyoji Horiguchi. Comes out in the southpaw stance. White trunks for John De Los Reyes.
Both of these guys are fast starters. Don't blink. We'll find out quickly if De Los Reyes has made the necessary improvements. He's able to watch him train a little bit here in Tokyo, and he looked very, very sharp. Talked to his jiu-jitsu coach, who's really happy, but he's hurt with a body kick there early.
You could see him holding his stomach. And on top is Horiguchi. He caught him, Brian.
He did. A nice job here by De Los Reyes, just trying to tie him up so he can catch his breath, get his wind back. Does a nice job rolling there, almost gets up. And now Horiguchi's got him back down, and they're in butterfly guard.
That body shot stopped him for a half a second.
It's vicious.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Oh, great recovery thus far by De Los Reyes, but this is where Horiguchi wanted this fight. He wanted it on the floors where he felt he had the biggest advantage.
7-fight winning streak for Horiguchi. 3rd UFC fight. 2nd UFC fight for John De Los Reyes.
Already you could see some improvements in the jiu-jitsu game of De Los Reyes, who came into the UFC a blue belt, lacked a lot of skills, especially off his back, and he's worked very hard these last few months to improve his game. We'll see if he's able to work back to his feet.
Underhook on the left side, John.
This is his flyweight debut.
Left side, get back to half guard.
Debuted against Dustin Kimura at 135. Good position here for Horiguchi.
Horiguchi's base is very tight when he's on top. De Los Reyes
the right hand and catches him on the way up.
Another nice right hand. De Los Reyes did a very nice job of using that butterfly guard to elevate and get back to his feet. We'll see now if Horiguchi goes back to that body kick.
It's the body kick from De Los Reyes. A lot of movement.
Horiguchi's so unpredictable. He changes stances frequently, puts together beautiful combinations, and he's got very good head movement, especially when he gets inside the pocket.
And the ability to change stances back and forth, up the middle. De Los Reyes hunts him down. Flying knee.
Grab the fence.
Steve Percival gets an adjustment, making sure that Horiguchi's not grabbing the fence.
And Horiguchi's landed some nice knees here from the clinch. De Los Reyes has got to try and dig for that left underhook where he's got control of the wrist now and circle and get his back off the fence.
Knee to the body by the native of Guam. Right hand, and just missing on the break was De Los Reyes.
Horiguchi sometimes has a tendency to lean to the side when he utilizes head movement and gets in the pocket. Sometimes that can open up for head kicks. Beautiful left hook.
Left hand. Now a flurry. Horiguchi over the top.
Reyes is still rocked. His legs are not solid.
Just missed there. Big knee. De Los Reyes trying to get to guard to slow the offense of Horiguchi.
Horiguchi's got brutal ground and pound.
Trying to finish it right.
That's
It's all over.
Wow.
Kyoji Horiguchi.
You can see what's got everybody talking about him and the hype behind this young man in this division.
Brian, that counter was the beginning of the end.
He said, I said in the beginning, he's got a monstrous left hook. It's what took down Dustin Pig, and that's what started the onslaught here tonight against John De Los Reyes. Another impressive performance for Kyoji Horiguchi.
Let's take a look at where it started, partner. Boom.
Boom. So fast, so unpredictable, and then has a great killer instinct. And when he gets a guy down, he postures up here and just lights him up. He's got the kind of power that we've seen in John Dodson, John Lineker in this flyweight division. Love to see Horiguchi take on one of those guys.
Something tells me that type of fight is not too far away for Kyoji Horiguchi. He starts us off on the main card in style. And here is Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Percival has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 48 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Kyoji Horiguchi.
And for the first time this evening, we take a look at our ISOsport tale of the tape for this 177-pound catch weight contest. Two young men, just 24 years of age. Is Ceglia 21? Is Gary 6'3", a significant height advantage against the 5'11" Italian? 4-0, the perfect record for Ceglia. 1-0 for Ian Gary, and it's Gary who, perhaps not unsurprisingly, is the bookmaker's favourite. Without further ado, we'll throw this one to our MC in the cage, Mr. Hal Chaplin.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. Official weight 173.9 pounds. He is fighting out of Florence in Italy and brings with him a professional record of 4 wins and no defeats. Introducing to you, Matteo Kinder Ceglia. Standing opposite him in the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 6 feet 5 inches tall. Official weight 176 pounds. He is fighting out of Dublin in Ireland and holds a professional record of 1 win with no defeats. Introducing to you the future, Mr. Rich Mitchell.
Referee Rich Mitchell about to get this one underway. 3 5-minute rounds if they need them in this catchweight contest. Ian Gary in the purple trunks. Matteo Ceglia in the black.
Ready? Let's go.
Touch of gloves and we are underway.
Gary's going to have a pretty substantial reach advantage here. Got the center of the cage early, wide stance, lowering himself right down to the level, popping a jab out early.
Our audience of specially invited guests are getting a first-hand earful of Tournament Chris Field's booming style.
That's a little bit nervous from Ceglia on that opening drive forward. And he's shooting a long way out. Gary's going to stuff that with ease.
And you hear the corner there of Ian Gary saying, step back, make him stand up. They want this one on the feet. They want it in a phase of the fight where Ian Gary can take advantage of that reach and that height.
Oh, that was good from Ceglia. He covered a lot of distance coming forward, managed to connect. And it looked like he went to pull guard. He's going to go for a footlock. Here we go. He's trying to elevate with that left instep inside. Gary's got to keep his feet crossed. See how the cross feet is really stopping him getting lifted and elevated. Brilliant awareness from the young Irishman.
Don't forget to join in the conversation on social media at Cage Warriors. Use the hashtag CWUnplugged2.
Grab that fence.
We love to hear your predictions for tonight's bantamweight tournament final, and of course the rest of the fantastic card we've got for you this evening in London.
Ceglia's got that inside hook. He's using that overhook. He's going to want to use that to elevate, but you can see Ian Gary is pummeling his feet for the inside position. And there's a bit of blood, I think it's from the face of Gary. I mean, Ceglia did connect very nicely when he surged forward.
Yeah, looks to be bleeding ever so slightly from the nose there. Nothing serious though. Nice kick there from Gary. And he steps back again, makes his opponent get back to his feet. And we've seen the stall set out here from the Italian. He's looking for those leg locks. Beautiful kick there from Ian Gary, punishing the legs now of Ceglia.
Yeah, he's seen a couple of times now that it's going to be a useful target zone for him. I wouldn't expect he's not going to go for it again. Ceglia again just barging forward, trying to get over the top.
Gary needs to be careful here that he's not getting a little bit relaxed about the whole height and reach situation. And again, we see Ceglia almost pulled guard there.
He pulled butterfly guard, which is something you just don't see very often. Both those feet on the inside here, classic butterfly guard trick. You see he's got the left arm of Gary completely tied up here. He's going to pinch, trap the tape of that glove. And you can see if he can elevate him with that left hook, Gary's not going to be able to base with that left arm. But he's a very big fellow to try and tip over on a single hook, it has to be said.
Finding nicely at a catch weight of a few pounds over his usual weight, so he's not had to do that final big cut.
Yeah, you know, butterfly guard is something you don't see very much in MMA because you tend to get punched in the face for trying it if you can't keep your grips. And there we see Gary able to disengage easily.
Nice kick again, and we're seeing Ian Gary target that leg, taking the balance out from underneath his man. Good work there from Gary to stuff that entry.
It wasn't even really a stuff, it was very odd by Ceglia. He went to pull guard without any connection. It really just looked like he fell to the ground.
And you hear Chris Fields calling for the hands from his man there. And again, pulls that butterfly guard, Josh.
Yeah, but he does it with the overhook, and he does it with perfect positioning. If you're going to butterfly guard sweep, he does what you need to do.
Gary keeping the head very close to the chest there now. Looking to free those arms up.
He just doesn't quite get up on the hip quick enough.
Mateo, do not hold that glove.
So he loses the momentum you would usually get from rocking back and forth in that seated guard position.
And surely now this is going to start to wear on the Italian if he has to keep getting up. And Gary can keep escaping his clutches. Oh, nice head kick up the right-hand side from Ian Gary. Big left hook, though, from Ceglia.
Yeah, Ceglia doesn't seem too phased. It's just very unorthodox the way he closes the distance. And, you know, I think Gary was expecting perhaps a bit more of a traditional striking exchange.
Well, the Italian's certainly not here to make up the numbers, giving Ian Gary a lot to think about in this first round. And we know that Ceglia's got those footlock style submissions on his record already. I believe he's got 2 on there.
Yeah, he's got to get to the position though, and that's so much easier said than done, especially if he's going to try and do it from the bottom.
Big flying knee and a short right hand from Gary. Tries that head kick, spinning back kick, and that's a big finish from the Irishman.
That's a really fun first round. It's definitely going to go the way of Ian Gary. The kicks paying dividends. You'll see the power in these low kicks in the replay here. Cleanly behind the calf, and it's the timing as well. You know, it's the balance of Ceglia taken away rather than just the pure power of Gary.
He really has punished the lead leg.
Don't hold his glove.
Welt
Don't
on
do
the
it
thigh
again.
there as well, as we see Gary trying to pepper his man with a couple of jabs. And it was actually an elbow there with the right that caught his man, not a short right hand.
Yeah, Ceglia did land a really good left, I think it was, as he was surging forward, but it's just tough for him to connect to Gary. You know, Gary can backpedal as quick as he needs to, and it leaves Ceglia looking a little bit, you know, sort of out of place.
Second round about to get underway. Cage doors closed.
You ready? Ready.
Right back to the action here. Cage Warriors Unplugged number 2. Corner of Ian Gary calling for the jab early on, and he's obliging there, pumping that lead hand out like a piston, and again switches the target area up, takes the leg.
Yeah, he's getting Ceglia flinching as well. See, that was a good connection, but frames from Gary and Ceglia immediately forces back again. I think we're going to see the same pattern again.
And we're going to see a break in the action now. Referee Rich Mitchell warning Ceglia there about holding the glove. He's warned him a number of times there. You can grab the wrist, but you cannot hook your fingers in any part of the glove.
It is tough because obviously he wants to make a connection to Gary, and when they're this slippery, you know, there's no kimono or uniform for him to hold on to. Physically just pulling guard is a hard thing to do.
And now we're seeing Gary backing his man up here. Nice turnaround from the first round where it was the Italian on the front foot in some of the striking exchanges. Big kick again from Ian Gary.
I don't know if we're going to see Gary, how many chances we're going to see him take. You know, his Cage Warriors debut was...
Oh, big shot from Ian Gary!
Stop!
Unbelievable!
You called up! You called up! No.
I think it was the eye rather than the concussive force.
It's cold up! You're joking! No!
And the corner team of Cheglia are protesting that stoppage. Their man went down, curled up into a ball, and was about to receive a whole world of pain from Ian Gary. Let's be honest there. There's no protest in that stoppage.
Yeah, it wasn't like he got poked in the eye and then caught on the way down. You know, sometimes shots land where they land, and you know, it could have been a knuckle going and catching the eye. This time it looked like it was a toe.
Look, with all due respect to the Italian fighter, if you're not hurt, don't go down and curl up in the ball. It's really simple. The referee's there to protect you, and that's what he's going to do. That's a fine stoppage by referee Richmond.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Again, question mark. Oh,
didn't even hit him in the eye, hit him in the jaw. That's a perfect stoppage from the referee, and a fine knockout from Ian Gary. You know, it's not uncommon to get hit like that and get your vision sent a little bit blurry. Perhaps that's what happened. Regardless, we'll throw it to our MC in the cage, Mr. Hal Chaplin.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Rich Mitchell, has called a stop to this contest after 1 minute and 1 second of round number 2, declaring your winner by way of TKO in the red corner, the future, Ian Gary!
Ian Gary remains undefeated here on Cage Warriors, and he joins my broadcast colleague, Josh Palmer.
I'm here with our winner, Ian Gary. Ian, fantastic performance again. Give us your thoughts on that one.
I just want to say sorry for being an asshole laying over. I'm full of adrenaline, and I'm always respectful of my opponent. And thank you for stepping up to the plate. He took a short notice fight. And can everyone please give me a round of applause? Thank you. This is the way I carry myself. I go in there, cool, compose, do everything I'm told. If I don't, I have that man screaming at me, so I don't really want that. I'm so grateful to be in the spot I am with Cage Warriors. And can I please give a massive shout out to all the Cage Warriors staff for getting me to this short notice fight. That's twice in a row now. I've had 2 pullouts on the week of the fight, and they've done absolutely everything to get me matched up. And again, they deserve all the credit. Ian Dean, you are a legend, my friend, and you're the top of your game. I want to say thank you. We've got the three champions here. I've got a corner full of royalty. And I've got 2 ex-champions, a current champ, and you are looking at a future champ down the line.
Got one more question for you before I let you run off. Take a look at the screen behind. Look at your handiwork. Tell us your thoughts on the finish.
I look good. Jesus. No, the plan was, look, it was a short notice fight, so we didn't really know much about him. We knew we wanted to play bottom and go for leg locks, and well, we didn't want that. I was hitting him with those low calf kicks. I knew that last one hurt him. I could see in his eyes. So I said, let's fake the low and go high, and well, right in the chin, and that's just full of adrenaline. I just want to say, I love this sport. Whatever happens, we're going to bring this back to the top and show everyone respect and honour is in this game.
Well,
thank you, Devin, for coming out.
Look forward to seeing it, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Gary.
Get ready to have a look at the ISO Sport tail of the tape for this welterweight contest. Just 24 years old is Matt Figlack, 21 is Ian Gary. Gary, the slightly taller man at 6'3", to Figlack 6 feet. 2-0, both men identical professional records. It's the future Ian Gary, though, who is a considerable bookmaker's favourite. Can Matt Figlack upset the odds? We're about to find out as we throw it to our MC, Mr. Hal Chaplin.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet tall, official weight 170.4 pounds. He is fighting out of Worcester in England and brings into the cage a professional mixed martial arts record of 2 wins. Introducing Matt Figlack. Standing opposite him in the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 63 inches tall. Official weight, 170.2 pounds. He is fighting out of Dublin in Ireland and brings into the cage a perfect professional mixed martial arts record of 2 wins with no defeats. Introducing to you the future. Your referee in charge of the action begins, Mr. Pete Lavery.
One of the most experienced officials on the Emerald Isle, Mr. Pete Lavery, about to get this one underway. 3 5-minute rounds if they need them. In the Cage Warriors welterweight division, Ian Gary in the purple, Matt Figlak in the black.
Figlak was pretty adamant yesterday that this was going to be a big scrap. Didn't really want to touch hands there either.
Yeah, and that seemed to get on the wrong side of Ian Gary. He was all smiles beforehand, but he walked away from that little confrontation and said, look, he's getting starched tomorrow for that. Oh, he's caught though! Gary's caught early! He's on his bike here!
Yeah, he's recovered quick though. He's gone very heavy up against the cage here. That could have been bad news for him. So first blood to Matt Figlak, but it's Gary with a lot of pressure up against the cage. Anything upper body, you got to figure that judo background's going to pay dividends for him as well.
Yeah, looking very strong in the clinch early here, good balance.
Yeah, but look at that body lock. That is, well, I mean, like you say, his ability to hold off a body lock like that, a wrist grip as well, making it so much tighter. And there you go, just better base in the scramble, but Figlak's up.
Figlak's up and throwing a knee there as well. Both guys in tremendous shape, and what an upset it would be if Matt Figlak can overturn the apple cart here and get a win against Ian Gary in his home nation.
Oh, Gary just using that whizzer in an awkward spot here. Look how strong he is with that overhook.
Yeah, we've said it all week, Josh, but people have been overlooking Matt Figlak here. He's a strong opponent with a strong amateur background coming out of a great gym.
Oh, and that was a beautiful break to reassert dominance in the clinch there. He went to double unders. Gary does play a lot of this high overhook game. And now he's gone unders and, oh, that cross grip as well behind the back. You see it used so much now. His right arm's all the way around the back and blocking the wrist.
Relentless short shots from Ian Gary there.
Yeah, Figlak cannot recover that arm.
And the crowd roaring with every punch that Ian Gary lands. They're not fight-ending shots, but the momentum shifting Gary's way here.
Yeah, it was a good sequence for him. He's got both hooks now and a lot of time to work. Figlak's trying to clear one body triangle as well. And he's got that angle where you can really hit that body triangle on the floating rib. Just slightly off to one side.
Gary relentless from the back here, trying to find a way under the jaw of Figlak.
I mean, Figlak's in a lot of trouble. He's got to get a hand up to defend that neck. Gary's just going to walk that right arm further up on the collarbone. Look how that left leg of Gary as well is hooking inside the back of the calf, keeping him positioned. And it'd be a moral victory for Figlak if he can find a way out of this round at this point.
2 minutes left for him to do so. Is he going to face defeat for the first time here, Matt Figlak?
Big shots from Gary. One thing that always impressed me about him in his other bouts with Cage Warriors is his composure, and he didn't rush. He didn't rush for the finish. It'd be very easy to try and get this guy out in round one, but you know, he'll take his time going to two if he needs to.
Looking to get a grip here. Oh, he's under the jaw. Ian Gary with a big squeeze. Surely here, Figlak fighting for everything he's worth.
He's out.
It's over. Ian Gary chokes out Matt Figlak. Unbelievable.
Well, Figlak going out on his shield there. But once he fought that grip, that was deep. There was no way back for Matt Figlak.
What a submission. Matt Figlak just coming to there. Ian Gary celebrating in the crowd. What a moment for this young man. drinking in the adulation at cage side as well he might.
I'm kind of gutted he's got to take the rest of the year off and wait till 2020.
And a great show of respect there from this young martial artist. And Big Black told him they'd talk after the fight. Talk they did. And what a fight it was. Ian Gary took a big shot early, came back, put his foot on the gas, and looked every bit the superstar in doing so. What a performance from this young man. Let's take a look at the finish here. Gary rags his man to the ground, pounces on the back. He's got the one hook in already, got the second, got the body triangle, was relentless with the short shots to find the opening. And as soon as that was in, Gary squeezing, Big Black fighting with every fiber of his being. But it wasn't to be. Choked out by Ian Gary. What a celebration here. What a moment here at Cage Warriors Cork. What a young man in Ian Gary. We'll throw this one to our MC in the cage, Mr. Hal Chaplin, and he will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Pete Lavery, has called a stop for this bout after 3 minutes and 41 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by way of rear naked choke in the red corner, the future, Ian Gary!
The crowd in Cork going absolutely wild for their man Ian Gary. He joins Josh Palmer in the cage.
I'm here with the future Ian Gary. Ian, you talked a big game. Once again, you backed it up. How you feeling?
Look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I just speak the truth, and I speak my opinions, and I'm just honest. I'm with the best team in the country. I've got a group full of savages back at Team KF, and we're changing this game in the Irish scene.
Talk us through the end of that one, because once you got the back, you were very, very calm, very methodical in getting that choke, and he went out on his shield.
Yeah, no, look, this is something that boils my blood. Yesterday I went to shake his hand, and he didn't. Today was a lesson. Respect everybody, fear nobody.
Now, I hate to break it to you, but you've probably got to take a bit of time off before the new year now when you get another bout. How does that sound?
I know. You get it going. I texted Ian Dean a couple of weeks ago. Shay, one sec. I texted Ian Dean a couple of weeks ago, asked him could I go for a 12, 13-day turnaround. My teammate James Webb is defending his world title, and I would love to be there with him. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So I'm going to say this. 2019 was massive for me. 3-0 as a professional, making my debut. 2020 is going to be something special, and everybody better watch out.
Come on, give it up for your winner, Ian, the future, Gary.
On FS1 and set to get going on our main card. Our Tale of the Tape is sponsored by the new PlayStation God of War game. Available now, rated M for mature. Miller, the elder, at 34 years old, 6 years older than Hooker. It's Hooker with a big 4-inch height advantage at 6 feet tall, and he also enjoys a 4-inch reach advantage. Setting the table for us tonight at Boardwalk Hall is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey for UFC Fight Night, Barboza versus Lee. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 16 wins, 7 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 155 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand, Dan the Hangman Hooker! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a a mixed martial artist holding a professional record. 28 wins, 11 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 155 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Sparta, New Jersey, Jim A-10 Miller. And the action begins. Our referee in charge, Gary Copeland.
So Gary Copeland will run the action inside the octagon here for this lightweight clash between Jim Miller, as lunch pail blue collar as it gets.
Round one, you ready, Red?
And all the way from Auckland, New Zealand, Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is in the black. Jim Miller is in the blue. And Hooker, perfect 2-0 since moving up to the lightweight division, if you could believe. 6 feet, he used to fight at 145 pounds.
Yeah.
He's found a nice home at lightweight so far.
We see a lot of kicks, distance control from Dan Hooker. He's really good at chopping at the legs. He'll use a lot of front kicks. Well, I don't know what just happened there to Miller.
So left eye he appears to be favoring, but Miller does not want to call timeout. He'll stand and still bang with Hooker, who's keeping his legs busy.
Ooh. Nice little knee to the left side there. Excuse me, the right side of Hooker, but the left knee of Jim. I think that might have hurt Dan Hooker just a little bit. I wonder if Jim's recovered from whatever was bothering him. He seems to be okay. Not blinking too much if it was an eye.
He's not going to complain about it, you can be sure of that.
No, he's definitely not.
Miller in the octagon for the 29th time in his career. That ties the record of former middleweight champ Michael Bisping, and can set the record with the win tonight for all-time UFC lightweight wins. He gets his hand raised.
Dan Hooker setting up something from that right side.
Well, big right. Get some power behind that one. Did Hooker. Fires a knee, but Miller trades him.
Good kicks there from Hooker. He's got to keep that distance. He's letting Miller get in, looking for the takedown. Good defense so far from Dan Hooker. Showing some dexterity and flexibility as well, which is going to help him. Nice takedown.
Big takedown from the former Sparta high school wrestler.
Be interesting to see how Dan Hooker wants to play off his back. If he wants to look for submissions, or if he just wants to get out from underneath of a guy like Jim Miller, who will stay very busy on top.
And now that we are 2 minutes and change into this fight, another impressive number for Jim Miller. He spent more than 5 hours inside the octagon in UFC lightweight competition.
Very nice.
That is a record that he continues to add to by the seconds.
Nice job there from Dan Hooker getting back up. Miller looked for a guillotine for 1 second, but Hooker was all over it, got out of there. There's that knee from Dan Hooker.
Short left elbow from Hooker as well.
Those front kicks I was talking about. You see a lot of that stabbing front kicks to the body from Dan Hooker.
5 UFC wins on the other side for the Kiwi. All of them have been finishes inside the octagon.
Good straight right there from Dan Hooker.
Big knee, and Jim Miller is out! Dan Hooker across the world.
Beautiful.
And another finish by a powerful right knee. He silences the crowd here in Atlantic City.
I said that I felt that Dan Hooker was trying to set something up from the right side, and he's done that to Ross Pearson. He's done that to other guys. He's tall and he's long for 155 pounds, and Jim tends to duck and throw that left hand. It's just a matter of time, but Dan Hooker, all respect right now, just standing in his corner off to the side. Beautiful job.
Our move of the fight is sponsored by Metro PCS, bringing you closer than ever to the UFC, putting knockout coverage in your hands by covering 99% of people in the U.S.
Well, it was just absolutely beautifully timed. Right knee, straight up the middle, caught Jim Miller right on the jaw, and unfortunately this last punch, Dan Hooker's just doing his job, but unnecessary, and wish the ref could have got in there in time to stop it before he even had to eat one extra shot. Landed right on the chin too. But there it is, man, just, I mean, perfect timing. Dan Hooker is a guy that really knows how to use exactly what he's built for, and these are one of those things.
Hooker trying to pick up where Israel Adesanya left off last night for City Kickboxing. Here's your tail of the tape. Hooker still just 28. Gilbert Durinho Burns 31. Hooker, the taller man by 2 inches. He will have a 4-inch reach advantage against Gilbert Burns. All right, now for the official introductions, we turn it over to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 13 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 155 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Gilbert Durinho Burns. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 17 wins, 7 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 155 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand, Dan the Hangman Hooker. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mark Smith.
Mark Smith, very good referee in there tonight for Gilbert Burns and Dan Hooker. Ariane Celeste is with us. Thank you, AC. Here we go.
We're going to put
anticipated class here.
Sorry, we're going to put your theory to the test because Gilbert Burns touched knuckles.
Oh, he did. He went with that.
Touched knuckles.
Ill-fated Buffer fist bump. I don't know.
Hey guys, watch the early right knee of Hooker because Durinho likes to throw that overhand right, and sometimes your head goes towards that back knee, and Hooker has a very good feel for knees on timing-wise. He'll time you very well on the inside.
Mentioned City Kickboxing, the gym that Dan Hooker represents in Auckland, New Zealand. This is the biggest fight week in the history of that camp. Adesanya got them off on the right foot last night.
Burns with a beautiful spinning back kick to the body. Adesanya was off the charts last night. His first fight against a top 10 contender, 3rd fight in the UFC, and he looked sensational.
Oh, huge right hand. That hurt Hooker, guys. That hurt him. He is hurt right now. And I love Burns coming straight out the gate. That's what he's got to do against Hooker. Get in his chest and brawl and go right after him right off the bat. Don't give Hooker space.
He's mixing it up well, too. Low kicks, punches, kicks, spinning kicks, everything.
That right hand was serious that Hooker just ate right there. I'll tell you what.
There's a different urgency and maturity about Gilbert Burns at this stage of his career, and having worked with Henry Hook now for more than 5 years, you're really starting to see that pay dividends.
I agree. I think he looks much better. He looks much more comfortable, much more sharp. You see him check that kick? Before he wouldn't have checked that. I've seen him get eaten alive with leg kicks, and he's made tons of adjustments, Burns. And Hooker looks awake now. He needed that punch. He looks wide awake, ready to go now.
Furious pace through the first 90 seconds here. It's a pace both of these guys can keep up, Hooker in particular. Hooker really felt like the weight cut impacted his fight IQ, his whole fight week in the final few. Oh! Burns is down here.
He took an inside kick on that one. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was an inside kick.
Well, his back was to us. We'll have to look at it in the replay. But Dan let him right back up. Didn't want anything to do with the ground, and now he's stuck there. Look at this.
That's tight.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's not in it, but that is tight.
Man.
That was very nice.
And look how quickly he snatched that up. He's letting Gilbert Burns know this is dangerous on the ground too, friend.
Hooker's got a very offensive submission game, but you can see he's not going to play around too long on the ground with Durinho. Under 2 minutes, or 2 minutes have gone by, I should say.
There's that right knee that he's going to be looking for. He'll be looking for.
Oh! Big attack from Hooker! That's it! The Hangman does it again! Whoa!
Sensational! Absolutely sensational!
Dan Hooker is going to crash the rankings party next week. 4 consecutive wins, all of them finishes, none bigger than the one he just got tonight.
And it's the way he's doing it too. It's how he looks.
Yeah, because Gilbert Burns is not off tonight. This is a sharp Burns we saw tonight.
I mean,
he just beat.
He came out guns blazing, and Dan figured it out, and he figured it out by overcoming adversity. He got tagged, he ate some kicks, he found his range. Man, Dan Hooker is on a tear right now.
I'm telling you, Israel Adesanya, his teammate, needed 25 minutes. Dan Hooker did not. Here's some of the action, Dom.
Ooh, big right hand landed. It wasn't an inside kick. He just timed him. And that's because Gilbert Burns is loading his punches so much. Hooker's just able to peek one in there. And as we see here, hook to the body, hook to the head. Finish off Gilbert Burns, put him down with a big punch. Right here, he hooks to the body, and he eats a right hand and comes back up top with the left to the head. That's textbook body-head combination. Left hook to the body, left hook to the head, and it just puts Burns on his butt. And he ate one in the middle of that too, so big shout to Hooker. Very good timing, and how about Burns looking sharp as well tonight up until that knockout.
He really did. Dan Hooker is focusing on each individual opponent. He says he's excited by the results, but trying not to get ahead of himself. And man, did he get the desired result here tonight. Dan Hooker is coming for the lightweight elite. Bruce Buffer now to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Smith has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 28 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout, Dan the Hangman Hooker.
I'm here with the winner, Dan Hooker. Dan, another spectacular finish against a very accomplished Gilbert Burns. Give us your thoughts on this fight.
Just give me someone in the top 10. Put some respect on my name. That's 4 in a row. You're getting these boys hurt. You need to give me someone on my level. Let's go.
Well, you're moving into what you would call an undeniable situation now. You got caught with a right hand, but you managed to make adjustments and tagged him with a right, dropped him, and take a look at the big screen and talk us through the finish of the fight here. In this exchange, you caught him with the right, dropped him, decided to let him get back up, and then finished him later with this beautiful left hand.
There's levels to this game, man. You can't stand with me. You're gonna get hurt.
Listen, Dan, you've made your point. Guaranteed you're moving into the top 10. Give us some thoughts on who you would like to face next.
There's a lot of guys fighting this night and next week. Give me some of them. Give me one of those guys. I smell blood in the top 10. I smell blood in that division, and I'm coming for it.
Congratulations. Dan Hooker, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, you got to think Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard are watching and listening. Dan Hooker getting it done here.